session is about chi-square test. As you all know, there are a lot of tests that you can apply for testing of hypothesis. In that, chi-square is one among those tests, which is a non-parametric test. So, before we understand what is a chi-square test, let us know what is a parameter and statistic. If you have studied your previous portions, you might be familiar with these terms. Parameter in general, we just say that it is a characteristic about something or which is an essential requirement for doing something. That is usually generally referred to as parameter. But in statistics, the parameter is nothing but a statistical value, a measure which is derived from the population. And along with parameter, you should know what is a statistic. A statistic is any statistical measure which you derive from a sample. So if you are calculating the average mark of a class of students, then if you collect the data from each and every student and measure its average, then that is a parameter. And instead of that, if you choose 10 or 15 students from a class and find the average marks obtained by those students, then that is an average which you have obtained from a sample, and that average is a statistic. So moving on to non-parametric test. So if a test is not based on any parameters of the population, then we refer it to as a non-parametric test. And here, one important thing is that whenever we apply parametric test, we assume the population to be normal. So that assumption is not required in a non-parametric test. So we say that it is a distribution-free statistical test. So in situations where you cannot apply, you cannot assume that the population is normally distributed, then non-parametric tests are usually used. Moving on, now we are coming over to chi-square test. So we know that chi-square is a non-parametric test which does not make any assumptions about the population, and this test was developed by Mr. Carl Pearson in 1900. It tests the significance of difference between observed frequency and expected frequency. This is a main area in chi-square test, that is, whenever you conduct an experiment, you get an observed frequency, and there is possibility that you are having an expectation about the results. Whenever you conduct something, you might be having an expectation about what the result will be, and you will be getting an actual observations. So chi-square test is usually used to understand what is the level of difference between, what is the discrepancy between the observed and the expected. Then, as we have already mentioned, the non-parametric tests are distribution-free tests and can be used in any form of distribution. And so, this test, the chi-square test, or this non-parametric test, is being widely used in research. Okay, moving on, we'll see what are the applications of chi-square test. For the BCom students, there are 4 areas in chi-square test which you have to study. In that, one is chi-square test is useful for testing the goodness of fit between the observed and expected frequencies, as we have already mentioned in the introductory part. Then it is useful for testing the independence of attribute. What is meant by independence of attribute? Whether two attributes are associated or not, whether there is any relationship between this smokers and smoking and cancer. So that is an attribute, and we can test whether these attributes are independent. Then it's also used for testing homogeneity. Different samples, in testing of homogeneity, we test whether the different samples come from the same population or not. And again, it is also used for testing the given population variance. In situations where there is small samples and you have got a population variance and a sample variance, the chi-square test can be used whether the population variance, whether there is any difference between population variance and sample variance. So the first one in the application of chi-square test, we are going to study with or deal with the test of goodness of fit. What is the test of goodness of fit? It is used for testing whether the outcome of an experiment matches with that of its theoretical frequencies. When you have studied your binomial, Poisson and normal distributions, you might have studied to develop fit distributions. That is, by theoretically, if you are having a binomial distribution, theoretically you can fix out what are the expected frequencies. And in the case of Poisson distribution or normal distribution also, fitting is possible. So that are the observations that you obtain by some theoretical means. So there is possibility that there is an expected frequency, and when you conduct an experiment you will be having an observed frequency. What has really happened? You will be having, so in case of Poisson distribution, we consider the accidents that happen in a road over a week. So when we consider this, what happens is you may be having an expectation, or by the means of Poisson distribution, you might be having a frequency distribution of accidents that has happened in a particular week. And when you monitor that week's experiment, then you might have observed a set of accidents. So chi-square test of goodness of fit is used to test whether there is a goodness, whether this observed frequency is fitting with, is matching with the theoretical frequencies. So in that, what are the steps involved in calculating or testing the goodness of fit? Of course, in testing of hypothesis, always your first step is setting of hypothesis. Usually we set the null hypothesis, that there is goodness, so there is no difference. Of course, you might be familiar with null hypothesis. In null hypothesis, we usually say that there is no significant difference between two variables. So in chi-square goodness of fit, your hypothesis will be there is goodness of fit. That is, there is no differences, there is no discrepancy between expected frequency and observed frequency. So your first step is setting of null hypothesis, that there is goodness of fit between the observed and the expected frequencies. The second step is to compute the test statistic. You have to compute the test statistic. Chi-square denote, check the way the chi-square is written. This is a symbol for chi-square. Chi-square is equal to sigma O minus E square by E. The sigma denotes for the whole thing O minus E square by E. O is nothing but the observed frequency and E is nothing but the expected frequency. So for each situation, you have to find out the difference between observed frequency and expected frequency, and then you have to square it up, and then you have to divide it by that term's expected frequency. It will be familiar when you do a problem of yourself. Then the degrees of freedom. Of course, you know that in testing of hypothesis, there will be degrees of freedom, and on the basis of degrees of freedom, you will be finding the table value in the distribution table. So in chi-square, the degrees of freedom is n minus r minus 1. In some textbooks, it's written as n minus 1 because r is the number of independent constraints, or the measures that are, the statistical values that determines about, that is given about a population. As this is a non-parametric test, usually there will not be any population values given. So R will be always 0. So if you take the degrees of freedom as n minus 1 also, then it is okay. Then I have written this because in LR-Poti, if you are following the textbook of LR-Poti, it is written as n minus r minus 1. So this is the degrees of freedom. And the next is how we make the judgment. So obtain the table value of chi-square for degrees of freedom and decide level of significance. So you might be having, either you might be having the chi-square distribution at the back of your textbook, or you might be having log statistical tables book. So check it out. So you might be getting a table like this. In that, this 0.05 indicates 0.05 is a 5% level of significance, and 0.01 is this 1% level of significance. So this N1, N2 is calculated. I mean, the N value of degrees of freedom is at this left hand side, and on the basis of that you will be getting a table value. And the next step is, on the basis of the table value, you will be checking if the calculated value is of chi-square is less than the table value. We accept the null hypothesis, that there is goodness of fit between the observed and expected frequencies. Okay, hope it is clear for you. And it is applied in situations where chi-square is applied in situations where the number of frequencies is nearly 50. It is not usually used in small kind of populations. So at least you should have 50 observations. And then the value of observed or expected frequency should not be less than 5. If you have frequencies less than 5, it will be clubbed with the just corresponding table value, corresponding value. And N is a number of observations that you have, I mean the number of situations that you have. And that is all about this goodness of fit and chi-square. So we'll move on to an example. This example is taken from your textbook by L.R. Porty. So it's a sample analysis of an examination result of 200 students. It will be very easy for you to follow. So, and the result analysis found that 46 students failed, 68 secured third class, and 62 second class, and the rest were placed in the first division. The question is, do these figures commensurate, match with the general examination result, which is in the ratio of 2:3:3:2 for various categories respectively? What does this question indicate? It has given an observed frequency, that is an observed result, examination result of 200 students. And you are given that some students have failed, some of them have got third class, some of them have got second class, and some has got first division. And there is a general examination tendency in that particular institute, that is always the number will be in the ratio of 2:3:3:2. So this is the this ratio is your expected frequency, and this 46, 68, 62, etc. is your expected frequencies. So when you start solving this problem, the first thing in testing of hypothesis, the first thing always is to formulate a null hypothesis. So we are formulating a null hypothesis that there is goodness of fit between the actual and general examination results. So you are writing your observed frequencies. Your observed frequencies is 46, 68, 62 and 24. That is failure, third class, second class and first class. Then you are moving on for your expected frequencies. How did you derive these expected frequencies? There are 200 students and the general examination result is expected to be in the ratio of 2:3:3:2. And in that ratio you have shared the 200 and you have received the expected frequencies. So next thing is you have to find the difference. Difference between observed and expected frequencies, and you are squaring it. So 46 minus 40, you are getting 6, and 6 square is 36. 68 minus 60, you are getting 8, and 8 square is 64. 62 minus 60 is 2, and 2 square is 4. And 24 minus 40 is how much? 16. And this 16 square is 256. So you have to find O minus E square by E for each, for the third class, for the second class, first class, and for failure, everything you are finding the observed O minus E square by E. So 36 by 40 gives you 0.9. 64 by 60 gives you 1.07. 4 by 60 gives you 0.067. And 256 by 40 gives you 6.4. So you are calculating your chi-square. You know that chi-square is equal to 0 minus E square by E. and the 0 minus e square by e is there. You are summing up 0.9 plus 1.05 plus 0.067 plus 6.4. You are getting 8.437. This is your calculated value of chi-square. So once you get the test statistic, the calculated value of chi-square, your next step is to find the degrees of freedom. It is n minus r minus 1. So there are 4 observations, 46, 68, 62 and 24. And R is 0. You are not given any statistical parameters about the population. So R is 0 and 1. So your degrees of freedom is 4 minus 0 minus 1, that is equal to 3. So refer to the table and find the calculated value, the table value at 0.05 level of significance. So if you check your table value at 3 degrees of freedom, the table value is 7.815. So what is the result? The calculated value of chi-square is greater than the table value. So we have to reject the null hypothesis. This is the way you have to do the problems in goodness of fate. Hope you have understood. If you have any doubts, please do clarify.